A question I've been asked recently by a few people is it worth spending money on a good microphone? And the answer is, as always, maybe. Now, the first few tips you really need to know about microphones is you don't want to be spending much more than £100. So if you're looking at things like these fancy podcasting microphones that cost £500, don't even go there. If you now are suddenly disturbed by the idea I said that £500 microphones exist, don't look at the £2,000 ones. But why am I saying they're not worth having? Well, one really important thing when you're doing audio is that you treat the room, so you don't have lots of echoes and audio reflections. And I haven't done that here. You're not going to do that unless you're really into it, and then this video probably isn't for you if you're already audio treating your room. You've got a sound studio. But there is stuff that you can do to make a difference. So one of the things is, if you are going to do audio, have some soft furnishings, have curtains, have things where the sound's going to reflect back to the microphone that will stop those reflections. And that actually, you'll notice if you walk into an empty room, it sounds awful. You'll recognize that noise, that echo. If you put furnishings in, it feels warmer, it feels nicer. This is my webcam microphone. I obviously can't hear it right now because I'm talking and recording, but I can guess that because it's called an omnidirectional microphone, it picks up sound in every direction, and it's that much further away from me that it's now picking up a lot more echo. It's not as clear, it sounds a lot cheaper, and it is. That's what you get when you buy a microphone strapped to the top of the camera. But the main thing is, we're always trying to look to try and get a distance down if we've got a bad room. If there's a lot of echo in that room, you want to get the microphone close to you. Even if you have a good room, you see people with like microphone right in the face. That's because you get the signal of your voice up and the bad noises in the room, the echoes, down because they're further away now. This is my Rode NT USB. So this is the most expensive microphone I use. It was bought for podcasting. I think it sounds absolutely great. The reason I don't use it all the time is because it's a bit more hassle. It's a huge thing on the desk. It blocks the keyboard, it blocks the mouse. It doesn't have anything to isolate the sound from the desk. If I tap the desk, it comes straight through the microphone. It's got a really large microphone, so it does get rid of that background noise really well, but it's still expecting you to be quite close because it's such a big microphone, you need a lot more sound to push it. So you never win with microphones. You always have something you gain, something you lose. It has a socket for headphones, so you can hear yourself, hear what noise in the computer. If you're doing a Zoom call and you have a problem with echoes or background noise, that could be really useful. But overall, it's really there so you can listen in to your own voice and make a really good sound recording. So if you want to lecture, this will sound great. I think it sounds great. But it might not be as flexible as you want. It's a big thing on your desk. And that's really the detraction. The other thing is the price. This is well over £100. And I don't think you need it. So I'm going to switch to a microphone. I got under £100 in the sale. It's not as professional looking as this. It lights up bright red. It's the HyperX Quadcast. But actually it has some really good features. And I'll show you that in a second. This is the HyperX Quadcast, and actually I'm already talking quite a bit quieter because it's just a lot more sensitive, and that's not necessarily a good thing. It just could just be how it is. I think it sounds slightly worse. I don't think my microphone technique is so good that it matters. I don't think this room is so good that it matters. I think it's great. It has a few nice features. Unlike the Rode can only be in what's called in a cardioid pattern, so it only does this pointing forward sensitivity. This has a switch to change it. Really, the reason we're here is so you can hear what it sounds like, and that's why I'm talking, not because there's a hugely interesting thing to say. One really cool thing it has is also a shock mount, so that means it's suspended in a like elastic around the waist of the microphone, and that means if I tap the desk, it shouldn't be as sensitive as a Rode, which has got no shock mount. You'll see people changing mounts on these microphones all the time, so it's not like you couldn't. Certainly on the Rode, it's got standard microphone mount. You could put it on a boom arm if you really wanted to. These are both good examples of big, heavy diaphragm microphones that you can have on your desk. And they both should sound good. I think this one is slightly worse, but you can probably sort a lot of it out later. As I say, I don't think I'm so great with microphones it really matters. So I'm going to switch back to the microphone I started on next, and that will let you compare the final option I have, and this is the option I use most of the time because I find it the most convenient. This is me back on the lapel mic. So this is a Rode Smartlav. It costs about £50. It's half the price of any of the other microphones I've shown. And I think it's probably the best mic. Here, the cost. Like, the webcam one's rubbish. I don't think it's got the clarity. I think the echo is really annoying. I think it's quite hard to hear. I think this is a compromise, and I think the other microphones can do better, but I think if you're not going to make your room soundproofed and treated and sound echo-free, if you're not going to build up your microphone technique because you've got plenty of other things on, lapel mic's got huge flexibility, and you can plug this into an iPhone, put the iPhone in a tripod and just record straight into that if you really want to. So it's a lot more flexible than this big bulky microphone. I'll put in the comments links to the different microphones I've used. If you're going to buy one today and you decide you really do want something like the Rode NT USB or the Quadcast, there are other options. The Blue Yeti is a really, really popular microphone with good reason and is another price point. The other one you might want to consider is the Elgato Wave 3. It's a fantastic microphone. It comes with great software, and I would probably now buy that in place of the Rode NT USB. They can all be adjusted. If they need a pop filter, you can add one. If they need a shock mount, that you can have it added. So whilst it's nice it's included, it might look a bit neater. None of that should really define your choice. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you found that useful. Look in the comments below, drop some feedback, tell me what you think, tell me which one you think's the best microphone. And this will be my last video for a while. I don't have much else I want to share, but it's been really fun making these, so I hope you found them useful. Goodbye.